Welcome to Cope Wisdom. Here we go.
Specifically indicate on your dating profiles that you are not interested in short-term sexual relationships or one-night stands. While this might sound inoffensive enough, I would discourage you from adopting this position, and I certainly would not recommend explicitly saying this on your profile, irrespective of your personal beliefs. And I'm going to make what I hope will be a compelling argument in defense of this perspective today. Ultimately, I'm trying to help you get more of what you tell me that you want, namely long-term committed relationships, but it's tough to watch so many of you get in your own way. So here we are. Now, on the surface, this position seems reasonable. After all, how are you going to get a long-term relationship if you're playing around with one-night stands? Why should you waste your time pursuing something you don't want at the expense of what you do?
So that's the question for today. So brother, I'm so used to saying brother. Dr. Teraban is going to talk about how he recommends that women engage in one-night stands in order to get married, eventually in the hopes of potentially. Not guaranteed. Yeah, really, really not guaranteed. But give it a good try. That's where he's going to go with it. He's going to go with it. And we're going to follow along. Obviously, I'm not going to agree. That's why I'm here doing a review because he asked for it at the end of his episodes. He said he's speaking to women. He asked us women to respond. So here I am responding, telling you, yeah, I don't think so. One night stands for monogamy, not worth it. No, never going to happen. But anyway, let him go. Give it a good try.
And this perspective would actually be reasonable were the assumption on which it is predicated true, namely that there are two different relationship pathways. That is, that the path to a long-term relationship is objectively different from the path to a short-term relationship.
Okay.
And that is not the case. Unless you're willing to subscribe to, say, arranged marriage, there is only a single pathway to relationship. The difference between a short-term and a long-term relationship is not qualitative. They don't take different paths. It's quantitative. The only real difference is when they end.
Oh, right. So I'll stop there. I like that he said that he distinguished that there is a path to marriage and relationship being end time marriage, right? Yay for arranged marriages. I really am for that. Seriously, I'm going to do an episode about that. Then he says that otherwise, other than it being arranged, the only other way to go for it, my sisters, eventually he's going to get there, is to clap your hands, clap the cheeks, one night stands. Let's see.
To get married, you do the same things you do to get laid. You just do them longer.
Oh, okay. See?
Allow me to explain.
Go ahead.
Like it or not, in today's day and age, sex precedes commitment. For a woman to come out of the gate and negate the possibility of a one-night stand functionally implies that she needs some kind of a priori commitment where she harbors the expectation that she's guaranteed multiple dates before the initial interaction in order for her to even entertain the possibility of dating a man. And that's an unreasonable demand. Like, see it from the other side, ladies. Why would a man make that kind of commitment to a woman he hasn't even met yet and who hasn't demonstrated that she can add any positive value to his life? Only the most lonely or desperate men would agree to this.
So basically he's saying that only the lonely and most desperate man would agree to marrying a woman that he hasn't had sex with. Right? Am I wrong to say that? Isn't that what we just heard? Like, yeah. So unless there's arranged marriages, you need to test drive. You need to test drive the car before you buy the car. And that makes logical sense to the world, right? Let's say the woman is the car. He wants to make sure that she drives well. So he has to test drive it for as much as possible. Now, the woman doesn't even know if he has the money to afford to buy the car yet, or if he has the intention to really afford to buy the car yet. But she has to allow herself to be test driven, according to monogamy, because the poor man, when he has one option, right? Only one option. And if he's going to rest his only one option called monogamy, only one wife in his little life, one life, one wife per life, then of course, that's really expensive car. So he's like, I got to test drive as many women as possible. And you all better be willing to be test driven, my sisters. Yeah. And be used and driven as much as possible for as long as possible. And then maybe the guy might come back in and say, I'll offer you something for your used up vehicle with the miles.
Ladies, I'd like you to talk to your married girlfriends.
Yeah, I'm talking
Ask
to
them about the earliest stages of their courtship and
Mhm.
listen carefully to their answers.
Okay.
It's very likely that at the beginning of their relationship, a relationship that eventually led to marriage,
Mhm.
they had a one-night stand. Since
Oh, thanks for asking. Thanks for asking, my sisters. No, I did not. Okay, and I do not recommend it. Find yourself a father or a brother and negotiate marriage with the man through them, and do not go open your legs to no one night stand. This is what the world is telling you. Welcome to Colorful Wisdom. My name is Deborah. I'm speaking to believers, to Christian women. If you're not there yet, fine. I'm still speaking to you, women, because one night stands don't work. Look at us. Look at us. If it was working, all of us would be married right now. All of you would be married right now because all of you fornicating, committing all kinds of adultery and immorality. Sisters, one night stands do not work. If they were working, this man would be out of a job. Obviously, I think they are working to give him a job, because after you've been run through and all these men have used your car, then the psychological damage it does for women to have such a high body count. You come to my office, you go to his office, you pay us so much money because you got a whole bunch of things going on in your head, a whole bunch of trauma to deal with, because one night stands don't work. And if you think that you're going to be having more and more and more of them, eventually, you're going to find the man that likes the coochie so much. He likes the BGG so much. It's so sweet that he like, oh my goodness, I got to buy that because I won't let that go. You think you're so special. You're not that special, my sisters. If you think a one night stand would eventually lead to having more night stands, and it'll be so nice that he won't do without you, like your car drives so well that he cannot drive any other car. Like, although yours is good, he won't go get another one. Mind you, he probably has a two-car garage, like most men do, i.e., polygynous, able to have more than one woman under his covenant union of marriage. But we won't go there today. I'm just telling you that idea that you giving it up as soon as possible, right away, as much as possible. Don't hesitate. Don't resist. Don't resist, sisters. That's what he's telling you. Give it up as much as possible. And if the man likes it, he might use it as much as possible. And when he finally says, well, gosh, I like it so much, I'm addicted to it, then he might marry it. Might, like big quotations, might, big question mark, might. This is what this doctor is promoting. Here we go again.
sex precedes commitment, the first time is always a one-night stand. It's just
The first time is always a one night stand. Not really. The first time can be marriage. That's what the Bible says. You crack it open, it's yours. You break the seal called, the hymen, it's yours. That kind of thing. It does not have to be a one night stand. All right. Don't believe that.
just two people who were sufficiently interested in and attracted to each other initiating a sexual relationship without any reasonable guarantee that they will see each other ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if they never did see each other ever again, the story would have ended there. However, women incorrectly believe that quickly initiating a sexual relationship precludes them from the possibility of a long-term relationship. That is not true.
Oh, really?
That said, women do get ghosted after sex, and I'll release an episode soon explaining why that might be the case. But trust me,
Oh, really?
it's not because they put out.
Okay.
And making their sexual opportunity even more expensive to future suitors generally does not lead to the preferred outcome.
Okay, we'll stop there. Making your sexual opportunity more expensive, like making it harder for him to have sex with you, doesn't guarantee that you're going to get married, which is true. Which is true. So if in the back of your mind you're going to say, I'm going to go through 10 dates before I give it up, There's no guarantee that he's going to marry you. If if you're making it more expensive, especially, okay, we're modern women, right? The majority of you who are listening to me right now are not virgins, okay? You're probably, my average statistics, you guys are 35, 40, 50. You're not virgins. You probably have a couple kids, fine. And you didn't ask for marriage before, fine. You didn't ask for that, right? So you gave it up easily, and you have been giving it up easily. And now you've come to the faith and believing the Most High. That's why you're following call for wisdom. You want to do things right. You don't want to fornicate no more. You don't want idolatry no more. You don't want to be a whore no more, right? Yeah, you're saved and redeemed and all cleaned up, right? So now you want to get married, and you want to get married, but you think that following this guy's advice, being the nicest little coochie that he has, will get you married. Obviously, it never got you married in the past. Why would it work now? Just because you're doing it more frequently and more often without any resistance is not going to make you get married. Do not listen to the lies of the enemy. The reason why you missed out before, yeah, go back, turn back. Where did you go wrong the first time? And I think this is what I think. And that Yah gave women in the families, it's actually biblical too. It's not just what I think, under the covering of fathers and husbands. You were never born without a father and husband. It took a man to make you anyway. And if you had a father in your life, that should have been the person that went through to this man and negotiated for marriage with you, right? For you. And you shouldn't have been trying to do this all on your own. This discernment, this dating, this negotiation through your body for sex. Traditionally, no man was putting their daughter out there. Now, I'm wondering if he even has children, daughters, because what man would tell his daughter, his young daughter, go and do one night stands and hopefully you'll get married? What man would say that to his virgin daughter, 18 and 20-year old, without, any hesitation? Oh, oh yeah, go ahead and do a couple one night stands and pop the cherry, my girl, to pop the cherry, and maybe that man will come and marry you. I hope I'll have grandchildren one day in a marriage. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. We know that's a lie. And so now you know that even if you are used and you allow yourself to be used and you're a little bit older, it's still not going to happen, my sisters. You need to fall into the order of things with Yah. They actually don't believe in dating. Is it all leads to prostitution at the end of the day? You need to negotiate for marriage right at the beginning. Yeah, right at the beginning. There's no test driving. I said it. There is no test driving. There's no test driving the coochie. There's no test driving the bicycle. There is no test driving the lawnmower. No test driving, because that's not what biblical marriage is about. There is assessing the man, and he has to assess you, but through the cover. So there is a person in your life called your cover, your head, which is usually your father, your brother, your relative that is a male, that the man has to go through to get to know you without touching you, without having sex with you, right? Although it's very important for a man to know that he has sexual access to you, but that only happens when he has already committed to marrying you, betrothed to you, betrothal, committed to marrying you. And I love that biblical period called betrothal. I think it's a really beautiful period. Get back to this. It's a really beautiful period, the betrothal period, because it's like putting a down payment, a huge down payment for the woman that promises that you'll come back for her. So when when Joseph, when Joseph and Mary were betrothed, right before Yeshua, Jesus, was born, and so she was engaged, but in a deeper way in the Bible, because that couldn't just be broken by just handing the ring away. It was like a guarantee, like a real marriage. But he didn't have sex with her, right? He didn't touch her yet, and that's the point. So there was no test driving at that time. The betrothal was like, I'm going to put this deposit. This is my woman. I'm not ready to consummate with her, but I've already paid the price for her. And if I wanted to let her go or break that betrothal, it's like giving her a divorce, right? And that's the only way that fathers used to give their daughters away. It was through betrothal. So although they didn't consummate it yet, then fine, they can go out because he's already committed to marriage with her. And he, the man, will decide when he's going to pop the cherry, right? He's going to decide when he wanted to consummate the marriage. And that didn't have to necessarily involve any kind of wedding feast. Sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't. Like Isaac did, he just took Rebecca into his tent in the Bible, right? So betrothal is like a nice, safe way of courtship that maybe we should bring it back to, because that still guarantees that you, sister, are married to the man. You might have not consummated yet, but you are married to him in commitment. And then if those moments and those times come when you do have sex, it's still a wholly committed relationship that is just bringing you into your next stage of marriage with the man, but you have already been committed and betrothed to him. But this thing about a one night stand of hooking up and fornicating, hopping, hopping, hopping man to another, hoping that one day one man will say, okay, I'll give you more time. You know, I like you so much that I'll try you out for a little bit longer, and hoping that the longer he tries you, the more he might like you. And then eventually those one night stands will become two night stands and three night stands to four night stands. And then eventually in your la la land, he will take you into this glorious kingdom called monogamy only, and you'll be queen of the castle. It's so ridiculous. But let me know what you think. Welcome to Cultural Wisdom again. Thanks for hanging out with me. Do you think that one night stands will eventually lead you to a committed relationship called marriage, especially a monogamous one? It'll lead you to nothing, like really, seriously. But let me know what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out with me.